Elena Villafana-Sylvester, CEO of F.E.E.L. Carrie, I know you're going to be talking with Elena about the good work that she's doing, reaching out to people, right?
Exactly, I'm excited.
I queued you all up.
You did. That's because he's a TV man too, right?
Okay, that's
Shepherd's Corner.
That's right.
All right, so as His Grace was saying that, it's about reaching out, and one of the groups that he spoke about reaching out to the elderly. So we're going to speak about elderly care this morning. So good morning, Elena Villafana-Sylvester.
Good morning.
And thank you for being here again to share with us what F.E.E.L is doing.
And, the theme just continues because I had the good fortune last week of encountering two individuals. One is a retiree who is caring for his neighbor. He's not related to the gentleman, but a neighbor who is elderly and a shut-in. And then I met a woman who is caring for her mother, and what we had a conversation about is how the kind of support they need to help care for them. And it dawned on me that I needed to talk about that today because, well, first of all, to congratulate all the individuals in Trinidad and Tobago that are doing that, as His Grace said, are being hospitable, are reaching out and caring for a family member or for a neighbor or for a loved one, or even reaching out to help someone that you don't know personally. And essentially, the conversation that I had with them was that they really did not know what kinds of items are available in assisting and caring for the elderly. So our conversation was about, really, they came to F.E.E.L to receive a wheelchair for the persons that they were caring for.
Right, we spoke over that previously.
Exactly, and we spoke about wheelchairs previously. But F.E.E.L also assists by providing a range of other items, such as bath chairs, walkers, crutches, reachers or grabbers, so that if the person has, it's a tool that if the person has to stretch to get something, it's actually that they can reach
something that would generally be out of their reach.
Exactly, that would generally be out of their reach. And then when we look at the situation in terms of bath chairs, for instance, it's putting them in a safe position so that when they go into the shower, they can actually sit and they can bathe comfortably without worrying about how they will stand up and so in the shower so that they can have a bath.
Oftentimes mobility and having to stand for long periods of time a challenge for the elderly.
Exactly. So I did not realize that, as the gentleman told me who's taking care of his neighbor, he was like, all these things exist?
Right.
And I said, yes, they do exist. So one of the things that we plan to do, when I looked at that situation, I felt that over the next week, or certainly the next distribution that we do to civil society organizations, one of the things that we will focus on doing is providing organizations with those items so that they will be able to make it available to individuals in their communities who are assisting persons that need that kind of support.
So what are some of the organizations that you'll be targeting?
Right. So, for example, we have in San Fernando, we have SunWest Women on the Move. We have Green Pioneers. There are also homes for the elderly that we work with. And so this is also, let me also say that homes for the elderly can register to be members of F.E.E.L, and then we will be able to assist them in having some of these tools available for the individuals that they care for. So we have a few homes for the elderly that will benefit from these types of items.
What about homes for the elderly in remote areas, such as in the rural regions?
Oh, definitely, because I can think of immediately two homes that we have one in Sangre Grande and one in Valencia, that will receive the benefits of these types of tools and have in the past receive items such as hospital beds and recliners from F.E.E.L. And actually, we just got in about 10 recliners, which will be an ideal tool that we can make available to those to those institutions. These are used items, but they're in good condition. So it will keep our individuals comfortable. But there's also an institution, so even though we're talking about homes for the elderly in particular, but last week we were able to give a donation of items to Blessed Quietness, which is a home in Carnage that actually cares for individuals that are, I would say, differently able, but severely disabled.
So,
individuals
very limited in
exactly,
regards to the things
very
they're able to
limited
do.
in their mobility, limited in their ability to communicate. And this is one of those institutions that is doing a fantastic job in caring for the most vulnerable in our society. We recently, at Christmas time, we were able to give them 2 beds that they needed. And then last week, we gave them 2 bath chairs, a wheelchair, and none of the individuals in that institution can actually walk. So when I met with the person who was the head of the home, I said, would you need any walkers? And so that is those are the types of individuals that are actually cared for at that institution. None of them are even mobile to be able to walk.
be refused to even receive walkers.
Exactly.
For instance, so they would be more in needs of things like wheelchairs and all like that.
Exactly.
What are your plans for future assistance with that specific home?
Right. So one of the things that is very important to them that we will have to look at is diapers, because most of the individuals in that home, well, based on the description that I just gave, because they're bedridden, they need a constant supply of diapers. And what the head of the home was telling me is that, of course, that's a huge expense for them, providing diapers to those individuals. So we will focus on trying to assist them with that, providing diapers to them as much as we can. Inco pads is another thing that they need. So those are the liners that go on the beds.
Right.
So that's something that they will need. As well, just off the top of my head, I can see those 2 things as being very important for them.
All right, Elena Villafana-Sylvester, thank you for all you've shared this morning. And you know, we always wish you the best with F.E.E.L and what you're doing, because you're always doing some excellent work and helping and reaching out to a lot. All right, we'll take a short break. We'll be right back with much more.